To study the great white shark. These monsters have the reputation of being cold-blooded killers. But is it possible for me to swim with them without becoming prey? Before I dare get into the water with them, I want to see more about how sharks perceive the world. Dr. Mauricio Hoyas has been studying great white sharks at Guadalupe for 8 years.
Here, this is the head of a 4-meter female. And as you see, the teeth are triangular and serrated.
So we have very different shaped teeth in the lower jaw and in the upper jaw. It's almost as if these are to grab a hold of prey,
Exactly.
and these are to slice or tear into
Exactly.
the blubber of marine mammals.
With every bite, they can take up to 60 pounds of meat.
60 pounds?
It's amazing.
Wow.
That's 27 kilograms, or the size of an 8-year-old child, in each bite.
You have here layers, rows of teeth. As the front row drops out, these will roll forward, almost like they're on a conveyor belt. And a shark of this size might go through 30,000 teeth in a lifetime.
Mako sharks are from the same family as great whites and share their super senses.
What can you tell us about the eyesight of sharks in this family?
The eye is very big. They are very visual predators.
Classically, when you see a white shark biting, you see all of a sudden the eye go completely white. Why is that? Is that something that you can show here?
Yeah, they move the eye backwards. But they do that in order to protect their eye when they are feeding on the prey.
As it strikes, the great white protects its eyeball from struggling prey by turning it inwards, showing the white membrane at the back of the eye.
Mako sharks, great white sharks, in fact all fish have a lateral line organ, don't they? Can you show us that on this animal?
Right, here is this line that you can see. And as you see, it has small pores.
Yeah.
And it helps to detect the vibrations. If something is moving right close to the shark, it's going to sense that, and it knows that something is moving right there.
So it can sense turbulence, it can sense the movements of other fish around it. And you wouldn't see that unless you were right up close to the animal, would you?
Yeah, with the pores, yes.
That's amazing. So I guess you'd think that an animal that's barely changed its anatomy in 400 million years, some people might think that means it's primitive, but actually it's quite the opposite. Really, it just means that it's perfect. It has such perfect anatomy for doing the job of feeding on its prey that there's been no need for it to change through evolution.
Mauricio spends most of his research time here, studying the white shark's behavior and feeding around the island. Together, we're going to conduct an experiment. Before I leave the cage, I'd like to know how deep great whites hunt, and to learn that, we'll need it to swallow this transmitter.
So, why great whites? What is it about this animal that's so fixated you?
Since I saw the movie Jaws, I fell in love with the white shark. It happened to me the opposite that happened to most of the people. Mm-hmm. So since I was a kid, I was amazed by these animals.
And now you've seen almost more of this animal than just about anyone else on Earth. Do you still have the same perception of them? I mean, how do you see them?
Even better. I think that at the beginning, I also had that perception of the bad shark, the man-eater, and things like that. But when I was here, I met the real white shark. This is the most amazing and majestic animal that I have ever seen.
Have you ever seriously felt in danger?
One day we were in a small panga. It's a fiberglass boat with a 40 horsepower engine. And I was sitting in the boat and suddenly I felt something like this, and it was that shark biting the engine. And I have the same engine and it has the teeth marks. It was biting the engine. So they know that something is there and they want to know what it is. It happened all the time.
Mauricio, is there anything that I can do to be useful here?
Yeah, I think that if you could be underwater in the cage right in front of us, because I have to be sure that this is going to be inside of the stomach of the shark.
The transmitter will relay data on the great white's position and its internal body temperature. Will their image as cold-blooded killers stand up to examination? This is the business end of proceedings, the shark cages. So all of our operations are going to start off in here. Dive cages are not 100% safe. Sharks can get caught in the viewing window. In order to conduct our experiment, we need to lure in a great white shark. My first Guadalupe white. Well, I think we need to get in the water as quickly as possible. Okay, Si, get yourself kitted up. Maurizio hides the transmitter in a bait fish.
Okay, it's perfect. It's now inside of the stomach.
So I'm going to get into the cage, and hopefully we can get it to swallow the fish that has the transmitter inside. So everyone's going to have to be absolutely on it. Okay, let's go for it.
This chunk of fish is the one that has the internal transmitter inside of it. What we need to do is to get the great white shark to swallow it and swallow it whole. If it does that, the transmitter will go inside its belly and will be able to tell us the internal temperature of the shark. All we have to do is get a shark to swallow it.
Maurizio has a receiver on his boat that will allow us to see the internal temperature of the shark and enable us not only to track it, but also to monitor its behavior and feeding habits.
Ready.
Everything's in position except the great white.
White shark coming in high! Shark! Great white shark! Absolutely phenomenal!
This 4-meter female is cautious, slowly circling below the cage as she assesses the situation.
Yes, go on, go on, go on! Go on! Oh, my goodness! Yes! It has it! Maurizio, can you hear me? It's taken the bait! It's taken it whole!
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much.
It came right up underneath the cage. It was no more than a meter or so away from me.
The 4-meter female has taken the bait. Maurizio must pick up the signal from the transmitter. It sends out her position and temperature every 10 seconds.
Yes.
194.
That's the shark. 194.
Fantastic.
And look at the difference. The internal temperature now, at the beginning it was 21 degrees Celsius. Yeah. And now it's going up. Now it's 24.6 degrees Celsius.
Okay, and the water temperature, what's the water temperature?
The water temperature is like 20.7 degrees.
Okay, so the internal temperature of the shark is much warmer than the water.
By now, exactly.
It's a fish, and they're supposed to be so-called cold-blooded, so it should be the same as the water. How can these sharks keep their body temperature higher than the water they swim in? Blood, heated by movement, passes alongside colder blood and warms it. This heat is sent to the areas that are most important in feeding, such as the brain, eyes, and stomach. And how does this help the shark? How does it make it be such a fantastic predator?
They can go to cold waters, for instance. The seals that we have here, they are in cold water. And the shark can go to those places because they can maintain that temperature. And also they can go very deep. When they are here at 300 meters, the temperature of the bottom is like 9 degrees Celsius. Yep. And they can be there for hours.
So, great whites are certainly not cold-blooded. Maurizio's work has shown that they can be up to 17 degrees warmer than the water around them. His research has also revealed that the great white sharks here are feeding down to at least 300 meters. Where I've filmed great white sharks before has been in South Africa, and the sharks there are very much focused around feeding on seals and sea lions at the surface, but that's not what's happening here. The sharks are feeding much deeper down. Knowing what it's capable of, it makes me feel very exposed and very vulnerable, and I am seriously considering not getting out of the cage. I've called the team together. Dive supervisor Richard has 30 years in the trade. Simon, my cameraman, has spent much of his life underwater, and safety divers Mark and Jose have 40 years of diving with sharks between them. So guys, what's our plan going to be for tomorrow?
We will set up the cages, see how's the action, and we will start from there.
What are we expecting to see this time of year?
Big females. The males start arriving early July, and then in the later part of the year, that's when the females arrive. So we will have many animals, big ones. Females are a lot bigger than males.
Guadalupe has a reputation of being the best place in the world to see great whites. Why is that?
You know, you get crystal clear water, unlike in South Africa. I mean, Australia, you have that clear water too, but here it's, you know, they're right here on the shoreline. They're there every time, you know, that we come.
They are always there. It's been over 300 animals already known to be there all the time.
It's odd, that, isn't it, as to why, you know, this volcanic chunk of rock in the middle of the Pacific should attract so many sharks. So do you think it's down to prey availability, or is it breeding?
Food has a lot to do, because it has a elephant seal population, which they go after that. It has sea lions, and it has a lot of fish. Yellowtail, tuna. It's a good place. I mean, if you're a shark, it's a good place to be.
It's a good place to be,
Yeah.
for sure.
So you guys are going to be looking after my safety when we're in the water. I'm hoping you've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in good hands.
This isn't your first time, is it?
I will be in the water at any moment.
To be safe in the water with these sharks, what do we need to look for?
How they behave, how erratic is their movement, or how in control they are. I have something to show you. This is a part of an inflatable, and still to this day we don't know what caused the animal to come and give it a bite. This is one bite, only one bite of a medium-sized shark. Yes.
It looks like someone's taken a scalpel to it and just sliced straight through it. Our ultimate goal here is to try and get into the water with great whites outside of the cage. Looking at this and looking at what the shark is capable of doing, do you believe that that's achievable and achievable safely?
The shark will tell us. We just go and see how it is. Wherever you go, I'll be watching your back.
The behavior of the sharks will inform everything we do from now on. Tomorrow morning, it's crunch time.